feel like jacked after that? Maybe.
Yeah, I'm all in. Brody on the line, I'm tapping in. God out here pulling the strings for me. A girl on the line, she feeling me. Preoccupied by the motivation. Put in the time, pay the entry fee. Bro on the rise, yeah, he kinda nice. Inside of my mind, no one's real as me. Lately, life has been gorgeous. Wake up to clear, my eyes hit record. Praise up to God, I ain't chasing no bitch. Swinging the miss, got me hitting these licks.
Okay, I am actually about to be heading to San Francisco for the first time, basically since I moved to the East Bay. Before this, I had been in San Francisco all the time. I lived in San Francisco, and I moved out here in October, and since then haven't went back there for like pleasure. I've been back there probably on average twice a week for work, but that's always work stuff. This is the first time we're doing something fun in San Francisco since I moved, and something fitness related. So I'm taking you all with me. We're going to this really cool gym. I believe it's called Lux, L-U-X. Never been there before, but I've seen it on Instagram, and it's a pretty cool setup. So we're gonna head there and do some fitness. And it's a whole event, a whole fitness event. So I think it's gonna be fun. Let's go.
Pray we make it through the night. Oh, we make it through the night. You can see it.
We made it to the city. It was fairly easy to find the gym. It's all outdoors. It's pretty cool. We're almost there now. Found parking. That's a win. It's 2-hour parking. So I guess that is my time limit here today. But I also have work tonight, so that probably makes sense. This is a really cool San Francisco-based artist who did a lot of street art during the pandemic, especially these hearts over here. And it's right by this gym, which is back there. So I am taking a class here at this fitness festival. It doesn't start for a little bit, but it is with Marcus Philly. He does this whole functional bodybuilding thing. And if you feel like you've heard that name before, Marcus Philly was a CrossFitter who competed at the games for a couple years, I believe. I'll put up a picture of him right here so you can see what he looks like. But now he primarily does this functional bodybuilding program that he created. So he will be leading 2 classes through that here today. I'm gonna be doing the first one. So I'm excited to see what it's like. So I wanted to show you a little bit around the Lux Fit space. So we had some things in the back, like some body work. Then over here, we had a bunch of vendors who were showing off their different products. And we even had Lululemon there. There are some Lululemon shoes. So there was some cool stuff to look at. Over here, this is the main gym floor where I believe they do classes, even on regular days. Like this is a special class this weekend. But on other days, there are classes in the same space with the floor, and then there's some grass on the side. Lux Fit is the name of the gym in San Francisco. Over on the other side, they had some challenges like hip thrusts and bench presses. So a lot of stuff going on for this LuxFest. Going into Marcus Philly's class, he gave a little bit of an introduction explaining himself and functional bodybuilding. The camera was a little bit far away, but I'm gonna put up some subtitles so you can follow along.
I used to be a very competitive CrossFit athlete who got to the end of his career and was like, you know what? I want to keep doing CrossFit, but a little bit too intense the way I've been doing it. How can I incorporate some other stuff like bodybuilding principles into my CrossFitting and keep it going for many, many more years to come? And that was what sparked this thing that we call functional bodybuilding today.
So now we're getting started with class, and we have a warm-up here starting out with jumping jacks, which is a really good way to get your body warm and get your heart rate up. Then we had some clamshells, start warming up that lower body, glute bridges, get those glutes very, very warmed up. And then we did some mountain climbers, but slower mountain climbers, trying to maintain control before we hopped in to the strength portion of this class. So for the strength, we did a 12-minute EMOM of 3 movements. So you go through these movements 4 times. This was one of the, I believe this is the last time. And this is some strict pressing. I was using 30-pound dumbbells, which were a little challenging for this movement. It was 12 reps. So by the last couple reps, it did get a little bit tough, as you can see there. But we were using 1 set of dumbbells for all the movements. And I decided to challenge myself here on these strict presses. So like I said, it's an EMOM, so you have a full minute, but the goal was to finish the working part of the EMOM in about 30 to 40 seconds. So have a little bit of time to rest and transition to that next movement. So the next movement here is going to be a curtsy lunge. And this weight was a little bit better for those curtsy lunges, a little bit more easily doable for the curtsy lunges than for the strict presses. If I had multiple dumbbells, probably would have stayed about the same on the strict press because it was a challenge, but I could do them. Might have went a little bit heavier on these curtsy lunges, but this was a large class and a 45-minute class, so there just wasn't a lot of time to switch out dumbbells. So you had to pick one, and I thought this was a pretty good weight for this class under these circumstances. Curtsy lunges are not something I do a lot of, and just like lost my balance there. But they're pretty good, and they get my butt sore and my legs sore, so it was good. And then again, you have that extra time. You want to have a little bit of time to transition between movements. It's supposed to be more of a strength. It's not a WOD, so you're not supposed to be dying and out of breath so much as you are supposed to be working on that muscular fatigue. So this last movement is definitely something I have never done before. You were in a plank, and then you pulled your dumbbell up into a row position and held that for 15 seconds. And this was definitely the most challenging thing I did. Well, I don't do a lot of curtsy lunges. I do some of them, so I'm familiar with that. This, I never just hold a row position for 15 seconds. So it was burning. Like, I feel like I was shaking a little bit on these rows, and I think you can see that a tiny bit. They were a challenge, but it was a good challenge and good to do things that are different, and I enjoyed it.
8 rounds of what I'm about to show you. So whichever comes first, call it a time cap. There's 3 exercises that are going to happen back to back to back, just like what we did, except for now, again, we're not having any rest periods in between. So without that rest period, there's a bit more of like a muscle endurance and some aerobic fitness to this part of it. So the 3 exercises are going to do this. We're going to have our dumbbells in between our legs, take a wider stance, and now we're going to be doing our rows. These are called gorilla rows. You're going to do 5 per arm. I want you don't have to move as slowly as the previous circuit, but it's still going to be under control. So I'm not just banging these out like this. It's up, slow down, up, slow down. Okay? Once you finish your 10, 5 on each side, we're doing push-ups with a little bit of a deficit. Okay? And this one definitely slow down and back up. You can modify that down to your knees as needed. Okay? This is only 5 reps. Once you finish those 5 reps, you're going to stand up. And now we're doing RDLs. An RDL is a deadlift where you keep your legs kind of straight. Think of it that way. Back flat, keep the bells close to your shins, and back up. Slow down, and back up. Okay, everyone grab your dumbbells, and let's all rehearse these together for a couple reps. Thumbs up from everybody. Ready? Okay, get into your gorilla position. Stopwatch is starting. By the way, I tested this out. My first round took me about 45 to 50 seconds. So if you're motoring it faster than that, I think it means that you're kind of doing a little too quickly, okay? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and row.
So this was the metabolic conditioning sort of piece of the class, of the functional bodybuilding class. And it was 8 rounds for time. The workout is up on your screen. So it was 8 rounds or 10 minutes, whichever came first. So it was 5 on each side of gorilla rows, so 10 total. 5 dumbbell push-ups, which are basically to a little bit of a deficit because you have that deficit of touching your chest to the ground with the dumbbell. And then 5 RDLs or 5 Romanian deadlifts. So you see me doing that now. It's basically a deadlift with a straighter leg. So not like your traditional deadlift where you kind of bend your knees. This is a little bit straighter so you get those hamstrings lit up. 8 rounds of this. Wasn't too bad. I was trying to maintain some of what he spoke about, which was the fact that you don't want to go too fast. You want to have some control through these movements, so you're not exactly dropping that dumbbell from the top back down to the ground. you are controlling it back down. Same thing on the push-up. You're not just falling into the bottom, you are controlling yourself into that push-up position and pushing back out. So it's a faster workout. You're definitely getting a little bit of conditioning in, your heart rate's getting higher, but you don't want to lose form, which is always true to some degree. But with this, there was definitely more of an emphasis on control than we see in some other types of workouts that are more focused on how fast can you go. I did like this. It was a different type of workout, and I definitely was a little bit sore in my hamstrings the next morning, so pretty effective. I also tried to loosen my grip on the rows when the dumbbell was on the ground in this movement, in the gorilla row, and also loosen my grip in the push-up. So if you're gonna give this a try, it is a grip burner. I mean, the entire workout, you're just holding on to the dumbbell. You wanna let go where you can. You don't want this to become about your grip. At least I didn't want it to become about my grip. So here on the Romanian deadlifts, I have to keep holding on. I can't let go on those. But when I get into these these gorilla rows, I can let go a little bit with the dumbbell that is on the ground. I can loosen my grip there, wiggle my fingers, and get some blood flowing back. So that is definitely a tip if you're gonna give this a try, which I think it's a nice workout to give a try. It's not going to beat you up or kill you. It's just a good thing to work some different things than we usually do in most CrossFit workouts. And when it comes to weight, if you want to try this workout, in this setting, in this class that I did with Marcus Philly at this fitness festival, there wasn't a specific weight. It would have been difficult for everyone to have those weights if they wanted to do it, if there was a prescribed weight like we see in CrossFit, because there's only so many dumbbells, and everyone's coming from a different background for this class. So it's not like we can do prescribed weights the same way. Again, I'm still using those 30s that I was using for the strength portion. But if I was to advise a weight, if you have all the weights in the world to do, I think this is a good workout for the more standard CrossFit weights that we see, which usually are 35-pound dumbbells for the women and 50 for the men. I think this is very doable with that weight and possibly heavier if that's something you're interested in doing. I have a lot of hamstring mobility, by the way, so RDLs are not too challenging for me, but I was trying not to rely on that too much. But my grip is definitely starting to get to me. I just saw my hand sort of open up to try to get some relief there. Definitely a grippy workout. But 35-50, that would be my advice for a weight if you're gonna take it on. And Marcus was saying that these should be about 40-second rounds. So you're not really killing yourself. He was saying before the class, this is not a workout that you should be throwing up at the end of. It's just, to work on some things and to maintain control and build some muscle. And I definitely enjoyed it, but I was also, I'm a CrossFitter. The CrossFitter in me wants to keep moving, so I did keep moving. And with the sun beating down and being mostly bent over for this entire workout, definitely started to see the sweat rip off of my face onto the grass here. But it's pretty cool to work out in this setting outside. I think you can see the buildings around me. This is a really cool gym. It's called Lux Fit, and it is located in San Francisco. This is on Folsom Street. I definitely recommend checking the gym out if you are ever in San Francisco. This is a pretty unique environment where you're working out on some turf surrounded by buildings. If you're ever in the area, I would definitely suggest checking out the gym and the environment. And this was a pretty fun class, and I'm pretty sure they do similar things to this in their classes. Marcus Philly doesn't work here. He was just there for this LuxFest, which was a fitness festival they had for the day. But you could do this programming. I'm going to link both LuxFit, the gym, and also going to link Marcus Philly's Functional Bodybuilding program in the description below this video. So if you're interested in checking out more of either of those two places, you can certainly check it out. I would recommend taking a look at both of them. I think they're both a good gym and a good program. And Marcus Philly, he was a CrossFitter for a while, multiple time games athlete. So now he's doing this, which he talked about as a more sustainable form of CrossFit for people who are looking for something a little less crazy intense. And that's it. Finished up the workout, finished up my 8 rounds, and gave the camera a little thumbs up. I look jacked after that? Maybe.
Maybe. That is all we have to offer, and I'm so thankful to be out here with you all.
Just finished up that workout, back in my car, got back before my 2-hour parking is finished, so that's a huge win. And it was a lot of fun. I really liked some of the stuff Marcus Philly put us through and did. It was a good workout. It was like, there was parts where I was like shaking a little bit because it's a lot slower, some of the parts, than CrossFit. Although the last part of it was a little bit more CrossFit-y. And he was standing next to me, and I saw someone up front who was doing burpees after the workout was finished. And I said to him, I'm like, someone's doing burpees. Is there a burpee buyout? And then he announced the burpee buyout. So I may actually be partially responsible for making the whole class do burpees, but kind of like burpees. And it was nice. It was sunny. This was a beautiful day in San Francisco for this event. Like, they really lucked out because we have had some weird wet weather here, like historically wet, lots of rain, lots of storms, atmospheric rivers, all of this stuff. And today it was just beautiful and sunny, and I was sweating a little bit during the workout, which was awesome. Like, these are the days that I loved living in the city and made me think about like not leaving. But there's also lots of days that are cloudy and not as beautiful as this. And I'm so much closer to my gym in the East Bay where I live now. So love where I live now, loved my time in the city. I'm gonna show you some of the stuff I got because I had some vendors there with some cool things. So let me show you before I head out. So I will put maybe the Instagram link for this company here because I don't really know what this is. Pulp Culture Hard Pressed Juice. If you look up in this corner, it says full spectrum, and picture this is like alcohol too or something. It's full spectrum, like CBD. You know, I'm not sure what this is, but if you want to check it out, I will put up the Instagram up here somewhere so that you guys can go check that out if you're curious. Then we've got some Lululemon, which one of my favorite brands, so pretty excited about that. This is a Lux Fit shirt. That's the name of the gym that we were at. This is nice to throw on. A Lululemon sports bra. And I've not seen these really. I know that Lululemon used to be affiliated with APL, but now they have their own shoes. So these are a pair of Lululemon shoes that I was told were pretty decent for CrossFit. We'll see, that's what I was told. But I put them on, and they are at the very least very comfortable. So if I don't use them for CrossFit, I will definitely be using these for, you know, regular everyday wear and walking my dog and things like that. They're a maroon color, which is very pretty, and pretty nice shoes actually. Like, I was impressed by Lululemon's step into the foot world, the shoe world. We'll see how I like them long term. All right, so it was a fun day, something a little bit different than what I usually do, which is fun to do, and we're kind of in this off season. So this past week I've been doing a lot of random stuff and just sort of what I want to do. Next week we're getting back to training. I am starting something new, a new training protocol for at least the beginning of this 2024 season. So hopefully we'll get stronger. So that starts next week, and excited, nervous, more excited than anything. Gonna be working out on my own a lot, which is always a little bit different, but I have all of you, and I will be jumping in on class sometimes too. So I appreciate you all for watching. Subscribe if you like this and you want to see me throughout the season. Also, we do have team quarterfinals coming up, and I will be documenting some of that, so I want to come back to see that because we have a team who may very well make it to semifinals. We'll see. Definitely it'll be they'll be trying, they'll be in the mix, so I'm excited for that. Hopefully you guys are too. Subscribe if you want to see more of that. Like this video if you had a good time, and I'm grateful for you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.